Hi, folks. My name is Bob Jakes. I am the publisher of Yes Reports, and I'm pleased to have Brian Melendez from Keep Up Marketing Agency here with me today on our Yes Reports show. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Hey, Brian, thanks for doing this again.
Yeah, no problem.
I say again, hey, folks, I'm a human being. I screwed up. A couple of weeks ago, Brian did our first part of our four-part talk about digital marketing agencies, and I screwed up. I screwed up in a big way. I use StreamYard to record my shows, and sometimes I use them to do live shows, and I love the StreamYard platform. And if you look at the StreamYard FAQs, it's clearly stated in there that they hold your content for 7 days and then their computers purge it. And that makes sense. It's common sense, because if they did, if they held it longer, they would have to have these massive computers. So they hold it for 7 days and then your content is purged. Well, this past Monday morning, I went to go edit part 2, which Brian and I had pre-recorded, and it wasn't there anymore, so I screwed up. So Brian was kind enough, and I thank you, Brian, for doing this again with me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So today we're going to talk about, let's share the screen with the audience. We're going to talk about a little bit about your firm, which we did in part 1. This is part 2. It's Keep Up Marketing Agency.
Yeah.
Give me a quick 15-second elevator speech on what you do.
So basically, we're a full-service agency that helps business owners acquire customers through online platforms like Facebook, Google, and YouTube.
Okay. So now let's break it down. Let's switch the slide over here. Let's see. I'm a little rusty today, folks, so thanks for your patience. And this is not cooperating. Okay. Well, let's talk about, there's the different types of marketing. And let's talk about Facebook ads, Brian.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about Facebook ads.
So what do you want to know?
How does it work? How why do people want to do Facebook ads? I'm sure a lot of the folks have seen them before on when they do a search on Facebook, but how does it work, and why should they consider doing it?
Well, Facebook, you have to, all right, so the first thing that I'm going to say, because you said, why do people do Facebook ads? So let's start there. You have to think of all these social media channels as basically TV channels, okay? They're all there for different purposes. Facebook is turning into an all-in-one. They're constantly adding so many different things. Like, they've added payment services. Now they're doing like Zoom meetings. Basically, they're trying to get the traction from Zoom and Skype because of this whole pandemic. So not only are you able to call and video call people absolutely free on their platform, which basically deletes the reason for long distance calling. So if you have a paid plan with AT&T or Sprint or something, now you can just use Facebook. You don't have to pay that long distance bill. But on top of that, what they've recently added is a share option. And this is extremely new, where you can actually share your screen with somebody on Facebook. So like if me and you did a Zoom call, we would be able to share our screen and show what we're looking at. So not a Zoom call, but like a Facebook call similar to a Zoom call. They didn't have that option until recently with the whole pandemic. Also, they have a lot of other things that they're doing. Like they're trying to make a competitor with Amazon now. Okay, so they're constantly growing. And honestly, if I had $100,000, Facebook would be one of the stocks that I would invest in, because I believe their stock price is going to go up. I don't know if it's going to go up as high as Amazon's over $2,000 a stock, but I do believe that it's going to end up soaring pretty high with everything that they're doing. So anybody who has a lot of money to invest, they want to go invest maybe 20, 30,000 in Facebook. I think that that's going to end up being a safe bet for the future in the next 5 or 10 years. Should be lucrative. But let's get back to making them all, thinking about them all in a certain way. So you want to think about them all in basically a way like a TV channel. So you're not going to go to MTV to watch the Golden Girls. It's something like older people watch. Obviously, I'm sure you know what the Golden Girls is. but you're not going to watch, let's say, BET to find people fishing. Okay. So these are all different channels and you have to use them accordingly. So with Google, that's really good for high ticket businesses. Okay, when you're doing Google ads. So you're not going to use Google ads for a restaurant because your CPC, which is your cost per click, could be $5 or $10. Now think about how many clicks you're going to have to get to actually acquire that client. You might end up spending $30 to $50 before you even get a real customer in, as opposed to Facebook, where it's significantly cheaper. You can get more people and hyper target your audience, hit them with specific promotions. So you really have to understand what each platform is and then use it accordingly. So I've explained a little bit about what Facebook is and how to think of these platforms, but I could literally sit here probably for another hour and talk about different things that we could do with Facebook. But really, you just have to understand what your goal is and then figure out which platform would be best to hit that goal.
So there's other platforms, obviously. We just talked about Facebook. Let's talk about YouTube ads.
Okay, so with YouTube ads, so I'll explain it like this. A while ago, a few years ago, Google bought YouTube. And what they did is they basically integrated their marketing platforms. So now when you're marketing for Google, you can end up basically in the same back end. It's not the exact same, but a similar back end. You can basically do your YouTube ads as well. And what they did is they allowed you to do options like, if let's say you type in roofing company in Google, right? And then you go to YouTube. Next thing you know, you see a roofing ad from your client or something like that, or somebody sees a roofing ad from your client. So by them doing that, they basically made this like ultimate platform for marketing to where you're able to basically just target people off of what they're currently looking for. Same thing with keywords. So if you want to target people for certain keywords, so let's say that you're a singer and you sound like Britney Spears or something like that. You can literally target Britney Spears music videos and you can put your video in front of it for an ad and then you can get her audience. You can do so many different things. It's like ridiculous. So again, it comes down to knowing what your goal is, who your audience is, and then using the right platform. So YouTube could be extremely powerful, and a lot of people are not utilizing it because there's a lot that goes with it. The number one thing that people don't like is that you have to make a video. And it's not just any video. You'd be surprised. A lot of people think you have to do a full-on production, but literally just pulling out your phone, shooting a nice video like this could really make all the difference in the world for, over a big production video. So instead of doing this huge production where you have cameras and lights and acting and scripts, instead of doing all that, sometimes it works better just having a phone video depending on what industry you're in. Now, if you're Geico, a huge billion-dollar company, you're obviously going to want a professional video. But if you're a local restaurant or you're a digital marketer or somebody selling a product, it couldn't hurt to maybe have a video of how you're doing XYZ, like even in the back end, like, hey guys, this is what we do, blah blah blah, even just holding your phone. So as long as you have a good offer to the right audience, and obviously a good, you don't have to necessarily use a funnel, but basically a good pathway for the customer to go through and claim that offer, then YouTube could be very effective. But there's a lot of different variables to making that happen. So that's why a lot of people don't want to use it. But mark my words, the next 5 or 10 years, it's going to be just as popular as Facebook as far as advertising.
You just mentioned funnels, okay? Mm-hmm. And I see on your list over here, ClickFunnels. What is that? What's ClickFunnels?
So ClickFunnels is basically a platform where you can get people to keep clicking through and going to different pages and taking different actions. That's the simplest way I could sum it up. I could be more fancy and talk about it in another way, but for you and your audience, most people don't understand the fancy terms, and most people, there's a study shown, when people don't understand something, they start tuning out and they don't like it. So I try to keep it as simple as possible, but just think of it as a mini website that is made to do certain objectives, okay? So they have webinar funnels where you can get people to watch your webinar, collect their information. They have product funnels where they're selling specific products. They have funnels where you could just literally just collect information. That would be more like a landing page. So there's all of these different things that you can do. But what ClickFunnels has done really well is they've basically made it to where let's say that you're selling shirts, okay? Shirts, hats, shoes, and somebody buys a shirt, okay? Next thing you know, you're going to check out. But when you go to check out, there's another page and it's like, hey, before you check out, do you want to buy this hat for 50% off? and then they'll say, okay, sure, 50% off, I'm going to buy the hat. And then you go to checkout and they're like, oh, wait, do you want to buy this too? And then they can like kind of keep funneling you, and they push you as far as they can go. So like they talk about an added cart value, but a lot of people don't do that. It's quite crazy, but the opportunity with ClickFunnels is crazy. But a mistake that I made earlier on in my business was using ClickFunnels for landing pages. Now it's fine if, let's say, you have a lot of clients. Let's say you have 10 clients who need landing pages. It's not so bad because it's like $100 a month and you get X amount of landing pages. I think you get like 20 or something like that, or you can do 20 funnels for the $100 a month, something like that. So it's really not so bad, and it's cheaper than paying $12 to $17 a month with these other platforms. But if you're only running a few landing pages, or let's say the client needs to do it on their own and they're going to take the landing page over, say that this was a one and done job, there's no reason they should pay $100 to ClickFunnels to host a landing page when they can have that done for $12 a month. You know what I mean? So again, it boils down to knowing what you need to do and basically figuring out what your goal is, who your audience is, and then making sure that you have the right platform to make that happen. So you're not overpaying and you have the right tools to make everything happen.
Okay. And Brian, on your list of different services that a digital marketing agency could provide, you also list SMS ads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As I told you in our last episode, I had no clue what that was.
I gotcha.
Tell me what an SMS ad is, please. Tell the audience what an SMS ad is.
So again, that's just technical terms, and I didn't want to speak in those for everybody. But SMS is just simply text message marketing. Basically, it's like email marketing, but with text messages. And the open rates are much higher with SMS, aka text messaging ads, because think about it like this. A lot of people that are not business owners maybe made, let's say, a Gmail to sign up, or an email to sign up with Facebook or YouTube or whatever the case may be. They made an email for a specific reason. Maybe they made that email a while ago. Now, if you think about it like this, how often do we keep the passwords to things that we made a year or 2 years ago that we almost never log into? Because if you're just using an email for Facebook, like a lot of people do, there's no reason for you to log into that email. And the next thing you know, it's been a year and you forget. So, when people are, let's say I have an email list of, let's say, 10,000 people, it's possible that those 10,000 people, you might only have 1,000 really good people who are going to respond to you. And out of those thousands, it's not like they're going to respond every week. You might only have 50 to 100 people. So having an email list of 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 people can be extremely effective, but having an SMS list of only 1,000 people could be even more effective than having a text message email list of 10,000 people. Because think about it like this: your phone number, a lot of people keep their phone numbers for a long time. People aren't always switching their phone numbers all the time. Not everybody, at least. Not maybe if you're a celebrity or something, but for the most part, people keep their numbers for a significant amount of time, and they don't have to, other than the password to their phone, which they'd have to use every day. They don't need a password to get into their text messages. So when you're sending them a text, almost everybody sees their text all the time. Not everybody has their email linked to their phone. Not everybody remembers the password to their email. So the open rates are much higher. Back in the day when email first came out and there was computers, everybody was checking their email like it was crack. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, your emails, I got an email. Oh. But now nobody cares. But text messages is a much higher converting marketing tool than email.
Okay, Brian, this is from your website. What we do. Read this to the folks.
To develop personalized strategies and solutions for businesses to upscale their online presence and achieve their marketing goals.
So everything we've been talking about today, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, SMS ads, it's to accomplish that goal, correct?
Yeah, we don't use all of them for every client, but yeah, for the most part.
Okay. So if somebody, I know we had to keep this short today. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, Brian Melendez, how would they do so?
They could reach me at my email, brian@keepupmarketingagency.com. They can go to my website and just fill out an order form or a quote form, and just it's keepupmarketingagency.com, or they can just call me directly at 860-261-8252.
Okay. So, folks, take a moment. Please like this video. Please share it with your friends and help us out. Subscribe to our channel. Brian, I want to thank you very much for being with us today. I really appreciate your patience with me. I'm still learning. I'm a human being, and I want to thank you for educating us.
No problem.
Folks, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned. In the next few days, we'll be coming out with part 3 of our interview with Brian Melendez from Keep Up Marketing Agency. And we're going to talk about Joe Rogan and how Joe Rogan made $100 million last month. This is on top of everything else he makes.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to interview number 3 with Brian. Folks, have a great day. Thanks for joining us today. Bye, Brian.
Bye.